Okay, guys, dental floss or Atlas Mike's Miracle Thread, which one is better for casting? Okay, YouTubers, what is better, dental floss or Miracle Thread? Now, why do you even need that? Me, I like to get my fish. If this was a piece of bait, a fish, I want to toss that thing out as far as I could without risk it being ripped off the hook from the force of the throw. So, what am I going to do? Now, if it was a crab, some people, like at the beginning, I used to hook up the crabs, but now I use dental floss. And what I do with the dental floss is, hold on, let me see here. Let me just show you a quick example. What I do with the dental floss is I put it through the eye of the hook, like so. And you don't have to get fancy. Just make a couple of granny knots. And see that? Tie it to the eye of the hook so it's not going to go anywhere. So now, say for example, this here is now a crab. We can put the crab in there, tie this on, and you can cross tie it, just cross tie it anyway. The crab will now stay on. And what's good about this is, end of the day, if nothing hits your crab, you can just simply cut the cord and the crab is free. And I like to do this, especially in areas that I like to visit more than once. So it means that I'm renewing my resources there. I can just keep using the same resources over and over again. All right. Now, what happens if this is now something soft, like a piece of fish? Okay, this is when we get rid of the dental floss. Okay, now we're going to use Miracle Thread. What's good about Miracle Thread is that, okay, when you put it, it's a wrap that you can, it's like a rubber band wrap that you just rubberize and put it around everything. Now, what I mean by rubberize, look at this. This is a piece of Miracle Thread. Look at that. It's actually stretching to an unbelievable limit. Okay, so what we can do is put your soft piece of fish or cut bait so it goes right above the eye of the hook. Take a couple of wraps and you do it fairly tight. See how the line is cutting into the bait? Give a couple of wraps. Then I come down to the shank of the hook. Give a couple of wraps again. See how the line is countersinking into the bait. Cut that. Bingo. That's all you have to do. Okay. So I find that if you use fish with Miracle Thread, it is great. Now, say if you're using squid, which is Ica, or octopus, I prefer the dental floss, and the reason being is because once you tighten that line, it's the meat is very, very tough. So I pull it just enough so the line will cut into the skin of the squid or the octopus, and then I'll cut it. That way you won't see it and it'll just stay on the hook. So there's different applications for both. So in review, I would use dental floss for crabs, squid, octopus, things that are tougher. Now, for fish, anything that's soft like fish, or say if you're going catfishing and you want to use chicken livers, I would suggest using miracle thread. This is really good for that. So I would say that one is not better than the other. It's just that you have to know when to use each one. Each one has a certain purpose for the certain type of bait you're using. And you just, as a fisherman, have to figure out which one will suit your needs the best. Thank you. Okay, this time I'm trying a J hook. It's a VMC J hook. So what I'm going to do, put it through my sardine. See that? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hug it close to the shank of the hook. Now I'm going to take out my thread, my Atlas Miracle thread. Now, being right-handed, you got to keep the hook, wrap part of the hook to your right, because if it's to your left, you try to twirl it, the line will get in the way. See that? The line will get in the way. So you make sure that the round end of the hook is facing right if you're right-handed. Now, I'm going to tie it this way because I want the hook to be exposed a little, so I'll have a better time hooking up with my fish. What I do is I usually start right above the knot, take a couple of really tight turns, then I come down into the middle part, and see how I'm keeping it tight like that? And just pull it hard one time, or you can cut it, pull it hard, line cuts right into it, just like that. I always keep this in my pocket. This is the best thing I found. Alright, and that's how I use miracle thread to get my bait secured to the hook. Okay, I'm at Chocolate Beach. I got me a blue pincher crab, and you notice I can handle the crab because the pinchers are in the end. I snipped off the pinchers, so this way the crab stays alive. At the end of the day, if nothing eats this, I'll throw it back and the fish will stay alive. I mean, the crab will stay alive. So instead of putting the bait through the body and having the crab possibly die on us, I put some heavy-duty dental floss through the eye of the hook. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tie it in, and as you can see here, I'm going to tie it this way. I tie the other one the other way. Let's see, try it a little bit better than that. See, you want to crisscross the lines like so. Alright, and the reason why we're doing this because we want the crab to stay alive. That's what we're trying to do here. That's why they call it live baiting. We're trying to make it so the crab will live through this. Now, if the crab is not eaten by the end of the day, I will release this back into the same area. And what that means is that I'm replenishing the resources here at this area. And it'd be great for continual usage. You can always catch crabs here. Okay, hold on now. Gonna tie a knot. Okay. See, the crab is instinctively trying to pinch me, but he can't pinch me right now. You just have to tie a couple of simple grannies. Look at that. The crab's all tied in. So at the end of the day, if nothing hits that, I'm just going to bring it back in, cut that dental floss, and I'll let the crab go, and then he'll still be alive. So let me get a pair of kitchen shears. Gonna cut off the excess. Now all this stuff here, I was storing in my utility wagon because you don't want to litter the areas you fish in. So I'm going to save that and end the day throw it away. So right now we have a live crab for bait. It's going to walk around on the bottom and stay alive this way. And this is on a live leader, live liner. This is a Penn Fierce 2 live liner, which means is that when you flick the switch, it'll go into a live liner. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, put that into our spike. We're going to put a safety cord around it because we don't want to lose this in case it gets pulled out. Put some tension on the line. That's all you have to do. And this switch here is your live liner line. Flick that on. What's going to happen now is if a fish swallows that bait, it's going to run and he's not going to feel the tension of the line because it's been set between 1 to 3 pounds. Now, when you give the fish roughly about 15 seconds to swallow the bait, then you flick the switch back. Now you have the full power of the reel at your disposal and you can set the hook properly. This is not a very popular feature in Hawaii. I hope it will be one day. But a lot of people who go for carp and catfish use this method. So we're going to set it back and see what happens. And at the end of the day, the crab I used is still alive because nothing hit it. So go on, buddy, go back. Okay, I'm gonna put on a strip of Ika. Just use your fingernails so you can separate the skin off of the meat, and what you got is just the meat. So what I do is I double it. It's about 1 inch wide. Double it, put the hook through. So see, the reason I double it is because now I got 2 pieces to go to instead of 1. Holds better. Go to it 2 times. Turn it around. 1 more time. 3 times, all right? You notice I left a 1/2 inch on the top here. Reason for that is I'm going to use the dental floss that I had already put through the eyelet of the hook to tie onto that piece. See that? Now we're going to make it tight. That's going to hold it on. Put 1 more granny. There it is. Now this time when I cut it, let me get the scissors. This time when I cut it, I'm going to be very, very close to the meat, like so, because that way, look, does it even show? That will hold for a long time. And as a finishing touch, at the bottom, I'm gonna make a slice down the middle for about 1 inch. Just like a teaser. See, look at that. When it's flapping around with the swells and the current, it's gonna be like a teaser, so it should attract more fish in. At the end of the day, I always spray down my gear. If you're out in an area where there's no facilities, learn this little trick from Joe Levis in Kauai. Just bring a spray bottle. It gets a lot of that surface salt off before it actually gets into all the nooks and crannies. Not bad.